One day, you will wake up and the house will be silent. No voices echoing down the halls. No one calling your name. No one waiting for you. You will look in the mirror and see the wrinkles, the years that have passed, the time that can never be reclaimed. And then the question will hit you like a hammer. Will you feel lonely or will you feel free? Society has conditioned you to believe that happiness in old age depends on others. Family, relationships, companionship. That if you grow old alone, you are somehow less, somehow unfortunate. But let me tell you the truth. If you don't know how to be happy alone, you will never truly be happy, no matter who is beside you. Because here's what no one tells you. The strongest, most fulfilled people in old age are not those who surrounded themselves with people out of fear, but those who built lives so rich, so meaningful, that even in solitude, they stand unshaken. This video is not about loneliness. It's about power. It's about walking into your older years with confidence, independence, and unshakable joy. It's about knowing that you don't need to fear being alone, because you have built a life that makes you enough. So if you're ready to stop waiting for others to make you happy, if you're ready to take control of your own future, then keep watching. And before we begin, like this video, share it, and subscribe to Victory Stoic, because the world needs more people who own their lives, no matter their age. Now let's begin. Number 1, no one is responsible for your happiness, except you. Let's get one thing straight. No one owes you happiness. Not your family, not your friends, not society, not a future partner, not even your children. The sooner you accept this truth, the sooner you will be free. But most people refuse to believe it. They spend their lives waiting for someone to care, waiting for someone to understand, waiting for someone to make them feel complete. And when no one does, they feel bitter. They feel abandoned. They feel like life has cheated them. But here's the hard truth. Life doesn't owe you anything, and neither does anyone in it. The dangerous illusion of depending on others. From the moment you were born, the world has fed you a dangerous idea that happiness is something given to you. That if you find the right partner, if you have enough loving family members, if you surround yourself with enough people, you'll never feel alone. But let me ask you this. How many people do you know who are surrounded by others and still feel miserable? The woman who has a husband, children, and a house full of people, yet cries herself to sleep. The man with dozens of friends, yet still feels like no one truly understands him. The elderly person in a crowded home, surrounded by family, yet feeling completely unseen. Because happiness was never about having people around you. It was about how much power you had over your own emotions, your own mind, and your own sense of purpose. The king and the beggar, a story of control. Imagine a king and a beggar. The beggar, sitting on the streets, depends on others for survival. He waits for coins to be dropped into his cup. He smiles when people are generous, and he suffers when they walk past without a glance. His emotions, his well-being, they are entirely controlled by others. Now look at the king. He rules his own fate. He doesn't beg for attention, approval, or validation because he doesn't need to. He decides his actions, his thoughts, and his peace. Here's what most people don't realize. Happiness works the same way. The moment you let other people dictate whether you feel happy or not, you are no different from the beggar, waiting for scraps of joy to be tossed your way. Take back control. No one is coming to save you. Let's say you feel lonely. What do? Most people will blame others. If only my family called more. If only I had more friends. If only someone loved me. But here's what a strong person says. What can I do to make my life better on my own? Maybe it's picking up a new skill. Maybe it's traveling alone and discovering the world. Maybe it's sitting in silence and learning to enjoy your own company instead of fearing it. Because happiness is not a gift, it's a skill. It's something you build, something you take responsibility for. The moment you stop blaming the world for your unhappiness, you become dangerous, because nothing can shake you anymore. So stop waiting for someone to save you. No one is coming, and that's a good thing, because you don't need them. Number 2, never stop learning, because a sharp mind never grows old. A body that stops moving becomes weak. A mind that stops learning becomes empty. You've seen it before. People who grow older and slowly fade away, not because of their age, but because they stop feeding their minds. They live the same routine every day, think the same thoughts, talk about the same things. And before they know it, their world becomes smaller and smaller. But then you've also seen the opposite. The people who stay sharp, curious, and alive no matter how old they get. The 80-year-old who learns a new language. The retired worker who picks up philosophy. The person who never lets their mind go dull, no matter how many birthdays they've had. The mind is like a fire. Feed it or let it die. Imagine your mind as a fire. If you keep feeding it, new books, new ideas, new skills, it burns brighter, stronger, more powerful. But the moment you stop adding fuel, the fire starts to die. Slowly, quietly, until all that's left is ashes. And here's what most people don't realize. Intellectual decline doesn't happen because of age. It happens because people stop using their minds. Think about the sharpest people you know. They are not the ones who sit around waiting for life to happen. They are the ones who ask questions, challenge themselves, and never stop expanding their understanding of the world. The man who chose to keep growing. I once knew a man, we'll call him Richard. Richard was 70 years old, retired, and could have easily spent his days watching TV, waiting for life to pass. But he didn't. Instead, he decided to learn coding at 70. Not because he needed a job, not because anyone told him to, but because he was curious. Most people laughed at him. "Why learn something so complicated at your age?" they asked. Richard's response? "Because I'm still alive, and as long as I'm alive, I'll keep learning." By the time he turned 75, he had built his own software, something that people half his age wouldn't even attempt. But more importantly, he never once felt bored, lost, or irrelevant, because he was still growing. Keep your mind hungry or let it decay. Here's the reality. When you stop learning, you start dying. Maybe not physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So what's stopping you? Read a book about a subject you know nothing about. Learn a skill that has nothing to do with your career. Challenge your opinions instead of reinforcing them, because when you feed your mind, you will never feel empty. And when you keep expanding your world, you will never feel old. Number 3, keep your body strong, not to live longer, but to live better. You've heard it 1,000 times before. Exercise is important. But let's be honest, most people don't do it. Why? Because they think it's only about living longer or avoiding illness in old age. But here's the truth. Staying physically strong isn't about surviving longer. It's about actually enjoying the years you have. What's the point of reaching old age if you're too weak to travel, too stiff to dance, too tired to even enjoy a simple walk? If your body becomes a prison, your mind will suffer with it. A strong body is a strong mind, a strong life, and most importantly, freedom. Practical, easy tips to start now. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need to train like an athlete. You just need to move. The 10-minute rule, stop overcomplicating it. Too many people avoid exercise because they think it needs to be an hour-long, painful session. Forget that. Just commit to 10 minutes a day. Walk, stretch, do body weight exercises. Once you start, you'll naturally want to do more. Example, do 10 push-ups, 10 squats, 10 lunges, and a 30-second plank. Done. The movement-first habit, use triggers. Every time you brush your teeth, do 10 squats. Before you sit on the couch, do a 30-second plank. During commercial breaks, do jumping jacks. Small movements add up fast. The farmer strength method, train for real life, not just looks. Carry your groceries instead of using a cart. Use stairs instead of elevators. Balance on one leg while brushing your teeth, great for coordination. If your body can't handle daily life effortlessly, it's time to move. Get outside, because nature is your gym. Walk barefoot on grass to improve circulation and balance. Take short hikes. It's free therapy. Find a pull-up bar at a park. Your body is your best gym. Creative and fun ways to stay fit without working out. Not a fan of workouts? Fine. Do this instead. 1. Turn housework into a workout. Put on music and clean aggressively. vacuum, lunges anyone. 2, dance like no one's watching. Literally, dance for 10 minutes a day. Cardio, done. 3, martial arts or boxing drills. Even shadow boxing in your room feels badass and builds strength. 4, play a sport even if you suck at it. Badminton, frisbee, ping pong, just have fun moving. Final thought. Move your body or lose it. Your muscles don't care how old you are. They only care if you use them. If you stop moving, they stop working. If you stay active, you stay capable. So ask yourself, do you want to grow old struggling to stand up? Or do you want to move freely, travel, dance, and actually enjoy life? The choice is yours. Start now. Number 4, financial independence is real freedom. Let's be clear. Money itself won't make you happy, but you know what it does buy? Freedom. The freedom to live where you want, work on what excites you, and wake up without the stress of surviving paycheck to paycheck. The world will tell you, money isn't everything. And that's true. But lacking money will make everything harder. Chris Rock once said, "Wealth is not about having a lot of money. It's about having a lot of options." And that's exactly it. Money isn't just numbers in a bank account. It's the power to say no. No to a miserable job, no to toxic relationships, no to living a life you don't want. If you don't build financial independence, you risk spending your old age trapped, stuck working when you should be resting, stuck depending on others when you should be free. So how do you actually take control? First, stop spending like a fool. Most people don't have a money problem, they have a spending problem. Jay Leno lived on half of his income and never touched the money he made from The Tonight Show. Morgan Freeman still drives the same old truck because he doesn't waste money on status symbols. The rich don't stay rich by blowing money on things they don't need. If you want financial freedom, start by cutting out unnecessary expenses and saving aggressively. Second, make your money work for you. If your money is just sitting in a bank account, inflation is eating it alive. Invest. Buy assets, not liabilities. As Warren Buffett said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. You don't need to be an expert, just start. Index funds, real estate, or even a simple side hustle can put you ahead of 99% of people who never think about financial security until it's too late. Third, learn to live below your means, but think bigger. Keanu Reeves, despite his massive success, lives humbly, donates millions, and stays financially grounded. He understands that money is a tool, not a trap. When you control your money instead of letting it control you, you buy yourself something invaluable, the ability to live life on your terms. So start now, spend smart, invest wisely, because one day you'll wake up old and you'll either be free or stuck. The difference? The financial choices you make today. Number 5, build a life so interesting that you never feel alone. Most people fear being alone because they have nothing to do when they're by themselves. They rely on others for entertainment, for conversation, for a sense of purpose. But here's the secret. The happiest people aren't those who always have company. They're the ones who have built a life so rich, so full, that they never get bored with their own presence. Think about it. When was the last time you were truly excited to spend time alone? Not because you had to, but because you genuinely enjoyed your own company? Most people don't know how to answer that, because they've spent their whole lives filling the silence with distractions, TV, social media, mindless scrolling, without ever learning to actually live in their own world. The solution? Find something that makes you forget to check your phone. Bill Murray once said, "Unless you're breaking stuff, you're not really having a good time." And while you don't need to start smashing things, unless that's your thing, the point is, get your hands dirty. Try something that makes you feel alive. Learn to play an instrument, not because you need to be great at it, but because the process itself is fun. Take up boxing, not to fight, but to feel the raw energy of movement. Start painting, not to impress anyone, but to watch your own creativity unfold. If you love movies, try writing your own script. If you enjoy food, experiment in the kitchen like you're running a Michelin star restaurant. And if you think you're too old to start something new, Tell that to Anthony Hopkins, who learned to play piano at 80, or to Vera Wang, who didn't design her first dress until she was 40. The moment you stop playing, experimenting, and creating, you don't just get old, you become boring. And boredom, not solitude, is what truly makes people miserable. So build a life so full of experiences, passions, and creative outlets that you never need someone else to entertain you. Make your world so fascinating that you actually look forward to your alone time. Because when you do, you'll realize something incredible. You were never really alone to begin with. Number 6, learn to enjoy the small things, because that's where life happens. There are creatures on this planet that live entire lifetimes in a fraction of ours. The mayfly only lives for 24 hours. A worker bee lasts just 6 weeks. Some tiny moths hatch, reproduce, and die within a single day. Imagine if you only had a few hours, a few days, or even a few weeks to experience existence. What would matter to you? Would you waste time chasing something that may never come? Would you wait for a big moment to start appreciating life? These creatures don't wait. They live fully in every fleeting second they have. The mayfly doesn't put off its joy until tomorrow. It doesn't have a tomorrow. The bee doesn't hesitate to dance among flowers, collecting nectar, feeling the warmth of the sun. It doesn't waste time wondering if it could have more. It simply lives. Yet here we are, with decades to experience the world, and most of us spend it waiting. Waiting for the right moment, waiting for the perfect day, waiting for something big to finally happen so we can start feeling alive. But the truth is, life is not in the grand events. It's in the thousands of tiny moments we overlook every single day. Think about the best days of your life. Were they always about huge achievements, or were they about the small, quiet joys? The smell of coffee in the morning, the sound of rain on the window, a deep laugh with an old friend, a great book that made you think, a walk where the air felt just right. People waste their lives chasing the big win and miss the daily beauty right in front of them. They dream of retirement, success, or that one major event that will make them happy, while ignoring the very moments that actually make life worth living. Albert Einstein once said, "There are 2 ways to live, as if nothing is a miracle, or as if everything is a miracle." The happiest people don't wait for miracles. They see them in the ordinary. So take a deep breath. Notice the details. Feel the warmth of your next meal, the texture of your next book, the way the sky looks tonight. Because one day, like the mayfly, your time will be up too. And when that day comes, you'll realize it was never about the big things. It was about how well you live the small ones. Number 7, build a healthy living environment. Science proves it fuels your mental strength. A clean, organized space is more than just aesthetics. It's a catalyst for a resilient mind and a positive outlook on life. Scientific studies consistently reveal that cluttered environments can elevate stress levels, reduce focus, and even impair your ability to process information. When you return to a tidy, well-organized home, you invite calm, clarity, and energy into your daily routine. This isn't about having a sprawling mansion. It's about creating a sanctuary that rejuvenates your spirit every time you walk through the door. Research in environmental psychology shows that clean spaces not only boost your mood, but also enhance productivity and mental clarity. A well-kept environment minimizes distractions and allows you to focus on what truly matters. Whether that's a meaningful conversation, a new project, or simply the comfort of your own thoughts. Imagine coming home after a long day and being greeted by a space that exudes peace and order. It's like hitting the refresh button on your mind. Even small changes can have a significant impact. It could be as simple as decluttering your desk, organizing your bookshelf, or ensuring that your living area has good natural light and fresh air. Each of these actions contributes to a holistic sense of well-being and reinforces a proactive attitude towards life. When you control your environment, you're also taking control of your mental state, empowering yourself to face challenges with resilience and optimism. Think of your living space as the foundation of your mental fortress. It's not the grandeur of the building that matters, but the energy it holds within. A clean, peaceful space is a constant reminder that you deserve a life of balance and clarity. A space that nurtures your ambitions, feeds your creativity, and supports your journey toward personal growth. Start with one area, a corner, a room, and transform it into a haven that reflects the best version of yourself. Over time, these small victories will add up, not only enhancing your physical surroundings, but also strengthening your inner resolve and setting a positive tone for every aspect of your life. Number 8, walk with gratitude every step, every meal, every breath. Imagine waking up tomorrow and everything you took for granted was gone. The roof over your head, the food on your table, the ability to walk, see, hear, think. How different would your life feel? How much would you wish you had appreciated what you once had? Most people live their lives focusing on what's missing, the money they don't have, the success they haven't achieved, the people who don't appreciate them. But the truth is, you will never feel full if all you see are the empty spaces. Gratitude isn't about ignoring what you want in life. It's about realizing how much you already have. Every breath you take is a gift. Every step you walk is a privilege. Every meal on your plate is a blessing. If you take a moment to recognize this, life transforms. Instead of waking up complaining about what's wrong, you wake up thanking God for another chance to live, another chance to grow, another chance to love. The Bible reminds us, give thanks in all circumstances. 1 Thessalonians 5:18. Not just when things are good, not just when life is easy, but in all things, because even in struggles, there are lessons. Even in hardships, there is grace. If you've ever watched an elderly person walk with care, placing each foot down as if it's something precious, you've seen gratitude in action. They know what it's like to lose mobility, to lose strength, to lose time. But here you are, able to move freely. Yet how often do you thank God for the simple ability to walk? And then there's food. A meal on your table isn't just food, it's God's provision. Someone worked to grow it, transport it, prepare it. Yet how often do we rush through eating, never pausing to truly taste, truly appreciate, truly acknowledge the blessing that it is? Gratitude isn't about having everything. It's about seeing everything for what it truly is, a gift. You don't need more to be happy. You need eyes that recognize the abundance already in front of you. So take a deep breath. Feel the air in your lungs. Step forward, knowing that every moment, every step, every meal is a reminder that God has already given you more than enough. Number 9, build your own tribe because you don't have to walk alone. In life, you will face moments of solitude. That's inevitable. But being alone doesn't mean being isolated. The truth is, you don't need a traditional family, a lifelong partner, or a ready-made support system to feel a sense of belonging. What you do need is a tribe, a group of people who challenge, uplift, and inspire you. Seneca once said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve, because the people you surround yourself with will shape your mindset, your habits, and ultimately your life." You are not meant to walk this journey completely alone, but you are meant to choose who walks beside you. Too many people settle for relationships of convenience rather than relationships of growth. They hold on to childhood friendships that no longer serve them, stay in toxic circles out of habit, and cling to people who drain them rather than uplift them. But you have the power to change that. You can build your own tribe. Find people who push you to become better, not those who keep you stuck in the past. Surround yourself with those who share your values, your drive, your curiosity. Whether it's through a shared passion, a common goal, or a mutual hunger for self-improvement, your community should fuel you, not drain you. And if you don't have that kind of tribe yet, create it. Join a mastermind group. Connect with like-minded people online. Take a class, attend events, engage in deep conversations. Because the right community won't just make you feel connected, they will make you feel alive. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic leaders, once wrote, "The fruit of this life is a good character and acts for the common good." A true tribe isn't just about what you can get, it's also about what you can give. When you surround yourself with people who share your hunger for growth, your world expands, your perspective sharpens, your life levels up. So ask yourself, who do you spend your time with? Are they pushing you forward or holding you back? If you're not satisfied with the answer, it's time to find your real tribe. Because when you do, you will never truly be alone. Number 10, Play the game of life by your own rules. Most people live by rules they never question, following a script they never wrote. Go to school, get a degree, get a job, get married, buy a house, have kids, work until retirement, then finally start living. But here's the truth. These rules are not laws of nature. They are just expectations society created. You don't have to follow them. You don't have to play a game that was designed by someone else. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This means your happiness is not determined by meeting society's expectations. It's determined by how much control you have over your own life. Think about this. Why do people chase things they don't even want? Why does someone work 60 hours a week at a job they hate just to afford a lifestyle they don't even enjoy? Because they were told that's what success looks like. But you don't have to play that game. Imagine a person who never followed the traditional path. Instead of going to college, they traveled the world and built a business online. Instead of getting married because that's what people do, they focused on their passions and personal freedom. Instead of buying a big house and drowning in debt, they chose a minimalist lifestyle, allowing them to retire decades earlier. At first, society looks at these people as crazy, but years later, those same people are called genius because they realize something earlier than most. Life is not a one-size-fits-all journey. Let's take Keanu Reeves, one of the most successful actors in Hollywood. He doesn't live in a mansion. He rides the subway, donates most of his wealth, and chooses a simple, peaceful life over the extravagant, fame-driven lifestyle of his peers. Why? Because he plays by his own rules. Or look at people who never bought into the work until you die mentality. Tim Ferriss designed his life around the 4-hour work week, rejecting the idea that you need to trade decades of your life for money. Instead of climbing a corporate ladder, he created his own path, and now helps others do the same. So ask yourself, are you living the life you truly want? Or are you just following someone else's rules? You don't have to follow the standard formula. You don't have to check every box society hands you. You have the power to define success, happiness, and freedom on your own terms. And when you finally do, you stop playing the game that traps most people and start living the life that was meant for you. Final thoughts, you control the game. Life doesn't come with a manual. There are no fixed rules, no guarantees, no pre-written path you must follow. You are the one who decides how to play, and when you finally take full control, when you stop waiting for permission, stop chasing expectations, and start living by your own rules, you will never feel trapped again. You will never fear being alone, because true freedom is knowing that you are enough, exactly as you are. Happiness in old age doesn't come from checking society's boxes. It comes from experience, growth, and self-discovery. From waking up every day and knowing you are not waiting for life to happen, you are actively creating it. So here's my question for you. If you could do anything without fear, without judgment, what would you do? Drop your answer in the comments. Or if you're ready to take control of your own life, type "I choose freedom." Like, share, and subscribe to Victory Stoic, because the world needs more people who own their lives, not just exist in them.